Hi guys, it's me again, Haptism. So today we're gonna cover a few news about Vanguard. I think the world of Vanguard is greatly affected by what happens in the past few weeks, in the past week, especially. We got like the new rules for standard, and there are some few things happens. So let's just cover them one by one. First is the big thing that I've been talking about is the new rule for standard, which is now you are only allowed to bring like 8 grids, a maximum of 8 grids, 8 stands, and 8 front. I mean 8 front and 8 draw in a deck. You can bring 11 or 12 grids as you will have like. So what's that gonna look like in the meta, and what's that gonna hold for the future? I think first, most of all, is it's a good move. I think it's a good move for Vanguard to, especially standard, to limit the grids. I wouldn't say per se that it killed creativity like some people say. I wouldn't say that it's just a better R&D move. I think it's a move that should be made. A better R&D move is them releasing a third type of grids so soon. We're like in the third booster, in the third set, and we already get a third set of criticals. I think that's bad because if you compare this to V Premium, in V we had quite similar power, we have quite similar offensive power, but we have less shield because grade 1 now only have 5k shields compared to V where it got 10k shields. So that's a problem, and you might factor in deck like Bruce or Bastion. In the meta right now, they would love to play 11 and 12 crits, 11 to 12 crits, especially with Bastion, and Bastion being able to do a triple drive check. I think it's bad for Bastion to be able to do triple drive check with 11 to 12 crits. I think that's the one that gonna kill creativity, is when all decks is being able to bring like 11 to 12 criticals, and they all try to play full crits instead of trying other trigger combination, which I would think solving the purpose of this so much talk about creativity. I don't know if it's really good creativity. I don't think so. I think it's a good move, but they are limiting critical as soon as the player base starts moaning, starts criticizing them for bringing up the third critical, which I don't think that Bushiroad really have that much confidence in their R&D. I don't think they have much confidence in their R&D because before the third booster even hit, they already set the limitation. I don't know if it's planned or it's because of the protest of the player base. I think it's good that they act quickly, but I think it's bad. It looks bad because they don't really trust their R&D. If this is not planned, if this is planned, then good. But it's still something weird because like they release a third type of critical and just suddenly very quickly turn a limitation on trigger. I think that looks weird. I don't know if they intended to do it in the first time or not. But for you guys that plays in English and you may have not tested lyrical yet, some of the lyrical decks is pretty nasty with 11 to 12 crits. They can play full crits like with Celestial and Loronero and Loronero and Clarissa. Those three plays with full crits, and it is pretty nasty. I mean, it's pretty unfair to the other decks if you ask me, because they are able to run 3 type of critical while the other decks literally don't have a third option of critical and had to play with 2. So and then they release the third type of criticals for every other nation through this third booster set that we're gonna get soon. And then before the third set even hit, they already declared that we can only put up to 8 criticals, front or draw in our decks. So that's the first thing, which I think will it affect the meta? Yes, it will affect the meta. I think you're gonna see less lyrical from now on, and especially after the third booster hits, maybe it's gonna be a little more diverse. I hope we're not gonna see too much of Bastion and Bruce in the top. but I don't think those two will gone anytime soon. And especially with Bruce, this is the second problem is people that were saying that Bruce has get another good support. Like every booster already got good support. In booster set 2 you got Leonard, which is many people were saying that it's broken, that it's too powerful, and then in the third set they got another triple R, which seems at first glance is another OP card. How OP it is, we must play test it first, but it looks very strong at this point. Another problem is Bruce hasn't actually won that many tournaments, but they do tops, they do get a lot of representative. So what I hope in the future is like they tone down the support a little bit, like how they did to Bastion. Bastion got a very good triple R in the set 1 and a good support package in set 1. I think that's a few steps ahead of other nations during set 1, but during set 2 and set 3 they kind of tone it down a bit so other deck can catch up. It still is a powerful deck, but it gives another deck chance to catch up with Bastion. I hope they do the same with Bruce, because right now all I see Bruce is going up both in presentation and in topping tournament results. I expecting Bruce to win more events than it had before, and that's for Bruce. Yeah, so basically I think the deck is getting better. Of course it's getting better, it gets good support, but I hope they will tone it down like the booster after. If they give Bruce another good support in booster 4, then I think that will be a real problem, but as long as they don't give another broken support, another OP support, then booster 4, I think it's gonna be alright, and I think other deck can still catch up to Bruce, because it still got that limitation of the final rush wording, which really starts really slow, and if you go second with Bruce, your chances of winning goes down drastically compared to when you go first. That's a common knowledge. So I think they're still getting that barricaded by the final rush wording, and that's why they get so many good supports maybe, but I hope they will tone it down in the future a little bit. And on the last but not least is the fee premium. A lot of people has been interested in the fee premium lately, because there are two things about free premium. One is the future sets that reveal Raging Form, Reverse, and all kind of Reverse, and people just got hyped because when Reverse unit came out, you kind of remember the good times from Vanguard. Many people started playing when Reverse first came out, or around that time they were very actively playing, and maybe that kind of brings them back to those times. And I agree, it looks good, it gets people hyped, but the first and foremost things about fee premium is the new heal trigger that they release in the DVS 1 and 2. The heal trigger really brings this balance to, I would not say balance, but I would say that it brings a much better pace to fee premium, whereas before the heal trigger came out, you can easily die if you go second, especially against a deck like the Cross, or maybe Gaffer or something, deck that goes quick. You can die before you reach your grade 3 turn, or you can be too far behind when you reach your grade 3 turn and there's no way to catch up. But with the heal triggers, there is a way for you to set up the pace to be more of your liking, so that when you reach your grade 3 turns, you can slowly catch up with them. You can catch up with them, or you can even turn the tables with your powerful grade 3 turns. And the most thing that I realized with the heal is they are grade 3 and easy to search right now in the game. You have grade 3 searchers, and you have multiple ways of searching grade 3s in your deck, especially like in a deck like Kagero, you have multiple ways to search your grade 3s. So it's easy to get it to your hand, and I don't know how much it will affect premium. And talking about premium is they are planning to release the ban list for premium next week, which is, they said that it will be a huge ban list. They said it will be a game-changing ban list, and from that ban list, I think we can see how much Bushiroad really care for premium, because all this time I get the feeling that they don't really care about premium. They don't really care about how it's doing. They don't pay attention to card details when they release them. When they're designing new cards, they don't think of premium and how it will interact with premium. They only think about standard, and I think that's a given. But how this ban list will come out, I think it will show you how much Bushiroad truly care for premium. So that's the 4 issues we covered today, which is the new restriction list and how good blue support was, and the third is the fee premium, and the fourth is the premium ban list that will come out next week. I think whatever format you play, whether it's premium, fee premium, or standard, I think the most important thing to pay attention is if you like Vanguard, if you love Vanguard, you will play anyway. So I hope you enjoy the game, whatever format you are playing. So that's for me this week, and I will see you next week to the next video.